Welcome to the Shelf Learner, educating myself with the books from my shelf. Welcome to Shelf Learner, educating myself with the books from my shelf. This particular video will be my fourth video for Historathon 2026. I was inspired this morning to come up with the title, Creation and AI. And in this video, towards the end, I'd like to talk about 2 points that ties this together with Historathon 2026. For those of you who are new, for my introduction video, I said that I wanted to start with the book of Genesis and go serendipitously from there, not knowing what book I'm going to do next. And it's been an exciting journey. The first video I did was about the land of Eden. The second video was about Noah's Ark. And the third video was about the Table Nations, and I spoke specifically about a character by the name of Nimrod, who had the first empire in world history. Well, in this video, I'd like to talk about creation and AI. For those few of you who don't know what AI is, it stands for artificial intelligence. But I was thinking about AI before AI. The original AI was atom intelligence. At the very beginning, the Creator took the dirt of the earth and created Adam. And I was thinking that when he created man with both the hardware and the software from the very beginning. A lot of times you'll see the stereotypical caveman who speaks in grunts and moans. But I would propose that it was a little bit different than that. I believe when the original man was created, that he had the intelligence to speak. Inferences are given in the book of Genesis where he had conversations with the Creator. And Adam was also able to name all the animals that you have today. So what prompted me to do this discussion was I came across a term called Foreign Language Syndrome, FLS, Foreign Language Syndrome. And for those of you who don't know what it is, there's been some rare cases where people have had head injuries. And after the head injury, believe it or not, they were able to speak a foreign language fluently. And get this, in some of those rare cases, they were able to speak a foreign language that they weren't familiar with before the head injury. So how do you figure that? A person was able to speak a foreign language they never heard before. To me, correct me if I'm wrong, that indicates that the language was already inside of them, that we already had that atom intelligence that was put into us from the very beginning. Now, you may be thinking, well, what does this have to do with Historathon 2026 and reading history books? Well, I got 2 reasons. Number one, to understand the spiritual will give us a deeper understanding of what takes place in the physical. The people and the events that we read in history books, if we just read it from a physical level, an earthly level, we're limited in our understanding. But once we realize that there is a spiritual, and the spiritual influences the people and the events that we read about in these history books, it just gives a bigger picture and a deeper understanding that people may not have if they don't look at it from that perspective. And the second reason is on a personal level. I mentioned how Adam was created with the hardware and software from the very beginning. You know, there's going to be a day, according to the book, that we're all going to stand before the white throne and give an account of our lives. Have you ever heard of that Santa Claus rhyme where it says Santa Claus is coming to town, he knows who's naughty or nice? Well, I'm sure that was inspired about the Creator, because the Creator is coming to town, he knows who's naughty and nice, but fortunately for us, he paid the price with the gift that he's given to us under the tree of life. And all we have to do is receive it. And for those of us who receive it, when it comes time to that big white throne of judgment, when the Creator pulls out that file and opens up our file, it's going to be a clean file. But for those who choose to reject that gift that's given to us, they're going to stand before the Creator. And like I said, that we were all given that software intelligence. Every thought that we thought, every word that we've spoken, everything that we've done is going to be downloaded, I'm sure, on this big spiritual screen from the beginning to the end. And for many people, that's not going to be a comfortable experience. So just to wrap this up, I spoke about how we're given the hardware and software, and how it's important to understand the spiritual influences, the physical, and it gives us a deeper understanding when we read these history books. And on a personal level, to know the fact that, hey, we can receive that free gift so that we can have a clean file in the end. Regarding Shelf Learner, this channel, I noticed that there's a lot of booktubers. They're like kids in the candy store. You know, they talk about the young adult fiction, the fantasy books that they love to read. And some people say they read over 100 books in a year. And some people say they read 100 books in a month. But it reminds me of when I was a kid. Me and my brother, my younger brother, we went out trick-or-treating. And we had these orange jack-o'-lanterns, these plastic bowls that we filled with candy. And we came back home that early evening. And I remember I was sitting next to my mom on the sofa in the living room. And she was craving some chocolate candy. And she said, go get your brother and get out his jack-o'-lantern so I can go through his candy. And I told my mom, I said, I haven't seen him for quite some time. I don't know where he's at. So me and my mom got off the sofa and we started doing some exploring in the house, looking for my brother. And I lie not to you, it was like a cartoon. It was funny because we started seeing a trail of empty candy wrappers, and it led to the bedroom. Me and my mom, we took a step into the bedroom and we turned and we saw my brother curled up like a fetus. His face is green. And my mom looked into his container and it was nothing but empty candy wrappers. He ate all his candy. And sure enough, he ran to the bathroom and he let it all out. But my point is that, you know, you got some channels there, they're like kids in the candy store. And for some people, they might get to a point where they say that, hey, you know, I'm getting tired of this candy. I like to have some broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Well, I tend to read books that are like broccoli and Brussels sprouts for the brain. Books that help me discover myself and the world around me. And if you happen to resonate with that, like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with other people who are authentic, who are passionate about books, who like to read books that are like broccoli and Brussels sprouts for the brain, to transform their lives from the inside out in mind, body, and spirit. Hey, thank you for listening, and of course, make it a great day.